In the heart of a small, sleepy town, there was a peculiar place known as McWhicker's Diner. It was unlike any other diner you'd ever find, with a reputation that sent shivers down the spines of the locals. McWhicker's had been in operation for decades, and although it appeared ordinary on the outside, rumors abounded about its mysterious owner, Mr. McWhicker, who had never been seen by anyone in town. The locals whispered about strange occurrences surrounding the diner. The clinking of silverware and murmurs of hushed conversations often emanated from within. Even during hours, it was supposedly closed. Odd sightings of individuals in retro clothing and hairstyles, straight out of the 1950s, were reported by passers-by, only to vanish without a trace when approached. One foggy night, a group of adventurous friends decided to investigate the enigmatic McWhicker's Diner. They found themselves pushing open the heavy glass door, revealing a dimly lit, retro interior that seemed frozen in time. Red leather booths, checkered floors, and a jukebox that played eerie, distorted tunes filled the space. A lone figure, who appeared to be an elderly waitress, welcomed them with a wide, unsettling smile. She led them to a booth and handed them menus that were tattered and ancient, listing dishes that were unfamiliar and peculiar. Each dish bore an unsettling name: Whispering Waffles, Cryptic Corned Beef, and the Enigma Burger. The friends hesitantly placed their orders, half expecting a warning from their mysterious waitress. But instead, she nodded approvingly and vanished into the kitchen, the door swinging shut behind her with a haunting creak. As they waited, the atmosphere grew increasingly eerie. The once empty diner filled with shadowy figures, dining silently at the other tables. Their eyes seemed distant, as if trapped in a world not of this time. The friends exchanged uneasy glances, realizing they were in over their heads. When their food arrived, it was unlike anything they had ever seen. The Whispering Waffles emitted faint, ghostly murmurs. The Cryptic Corned Beef oozed an otherworldly greenish glow, and the Enigma Burger appeared to shift and change shape with each bite. As they took hesitant bites of their peculiar meals, they couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. The air grew heavy with an unexplainable sense of dread. The jukebox's distorted tunes transformed into haunting, melodic whispers. Suddenly, the diner's lights flickered and dimmed. The shadowy figures at other tables turned to face them, revealing hollow, soulless eyes. Panic set in as the friends realized they were not the first to enter this timeless diner, nor would they be the last. They were trapped, prisoners of McWhicker's Diner, forever destined to dine with the lost souls from another era. Their desperate attempts to escape were in vain, for the door was now sealed shut, and the elderly waitress reappeared, her smile more menacing than ever. She whispered, "Welcome to McWhicker's, where time stands still, and you are the newest addition to our eternal feast." And so, McWhicker's Diner, with its unsettling secrets and enigmatic owner, continued to draw unsuspecting souls into its timeless void, feeding off their presence and their fear as the mysteries of the diner remained locked away for all eternity. In the outskirts of a desolate town, a dilapidated Mcdonald's stood as a grim reminder of its former glory. Long abandoned, the once vibrant red and yellow sign had faded to a sickly, dull hue. Its once bustling drive-through, now overgrown with gnarled vines, concealed a terrible secret. A group of curious urban explorers stumbled upon the forsaken fast food restaurant, enticed by the ominous aura that surrounded it. They ventured inside, past the shattered windows and splintered wooden doors, unwittingly entering a realm of terror. The interior was a grotesque tableau of decay. Moldy, disheveled furniture lined the dining area, and the floor squished beneath their feet with each step. A disgusting symphony of rot. The air was thick with an unholy stench that clung to their clothes and made their stomachs churn. What sent shivers down their spines was the foul, deafening silence, as though the very walls absorbed any sound that dared to break it. Yet, a whispering voice called to them from deep within the restaurant, urging them to proceed. They couldn't resist the compulsion. As they approached the counter, they found it manned by a ghastly figure in a Mcdonald's uniform, its face obscured by a filthy apron. The entity wordlessly extended a menu, upon which the items seemed innocuous at first glance. The Zomburger, spectral fries, and ectoplasm shake were scrawled in a blood-red font. Fear gnawing at them, the group placed their orders. The entity's bony fingers slowly and eerily typed them into the cash register, which emitted a spine-tingling, unnatural chime. Moments later, their meals appeared in front of them, though it was not the familiar fast food they expected. The Zomburger was oozing with rancid, greenish goo, and the spectral fries moved on their own, their ghostly tendrils reaching out to touch the diner's hands. The ectoplasm shake pulsed with an ethereal light, and as they took hesitant sips, it sent a chill down their spines. Desperation began to grip them as they realized they were trapped within the malevolent corpse. Their screams reverberated through the unholy silence, but nobody outside seemed to hear. As they struggled to flee, the restaurant seemed to morph and twist around them, its walls closing in as if to consume them whole. The entity behind the counter leered, and the voice whispered, "You're just another meal in our never-ending feast." To this day, the McCorp stands as a cursed relic, luring unsuspecting souls into its inescapable web. Those who enter its forsaken domain remain trapped, forever serving as nourishment for its insatiable hunger. The ghostly drive-thru beckons, and the terrifying secret of McCorp's remains hidden, a horrific reminder of the nightmarish fast food purgatory that it has become as. Deep within the heart of a dense, remote forest, shrouded in an eerie mist, stood the forsaken and mysterious McDonald's, known as the McMirror. Its reputation in the nearby town was one of whispers and legends, a place believed to reveal the deepest fears and darkest desires of anyone who dared to enter. A group of thrill seekers, intrigued by the ominous stories surrounding the McMirror, set out on an expedition to unveil its secrets. Guided by the eerie mist and the faint glow of the abandoned restaurant's faded golden arches, they reached its foreboding entrance. Once inside, they found themselves immersed in an unsettling world. The entire interior of the restaurant was one colossal, tarnished mirror, distorting their reflections into grotesque, nightmarish forms. As they ventured deeper, the haunting whispers began, a discordant symphony of voices, some beckoning them further, while others seemed to mock and taunt. The group cautiously took their seats at a seemingly ordinary booth. their distorted reflections still haunting them. A menu, bizarre and unsettling, lay before them. Instead of food items, it featured a list of fears and desires: the Feast of Shadows, the Forbidden Dream, and the Reflection of Regret. With trembling hands, they placed their orders. An eerie calm seemed to wash over the McMirror as their distorted reflections displayed signs of satisfaction. The restaurant itself came alive, and the room transformed into a grotesque carnival, a twisted manifestation of their most dreaded nightmares and secret longings. The Feast of Shadows appeared before them, a horrifying meal that represented their deepest fears, each dish a ghastly embodiment of their torment. The Forbidden Dream materialized as an enigmatic journey through surreal landscapes, a seductive yet nightmarish experience that left them drained and disoriented. The Reflection of Regret showcased haunting memories, replaying moments of personal torment and self-loathing. In the midst of their nightmarish ordeal, the group realized that the McMirror was feeding off their emotions, growing stronger with each bite of fear and sip of desire. Desperation set in, and they yearned to escape. But the mirrored walls seemed to have no end, and the room itself shifted and contorted to keep them ensnared. As they fought to break free, their distorted reflections on the endless mirror began to crack and fracture. Their voices echoed through the surreal space, pleading for release as the McMirror absorbed their deepest vulnerabilities. In the end, they were reduced to mere husks of their former selves, entangled in the McMirror's malevolent grasp. Their reflections shattered into 1,000 jagged pieces, sealing their fates forever within the cursed fast food joint. To this day, the McMirror sits deep within the sinister forest, an alluring yet horrific trap that draws in new victims to reflect their darkest fears and desires. Those who enter its mirrored realm become prisoners, forever trapped within the nightmarish distortion of the McDonald's that time forgot, their distorted reflections serving as a warning